My name is T. I'm an international bodyguard, also known as a CPO, Close Protection Officer. What has your journey been to get to this point? To get to this point, realistically, is just to better myself as an individual. I haven't really been fortunate enough to really live a teenager lifestyle, being more of a man-child, watching my mum obviously 3 kids, 3 jobs, hardly in the house, so you grow up kind of fast and stuff, you know, you miss out on a lot of your youth and things like that. So I've always been forward for my time, I feel, and you know, I just feel at the end of the day, like when you miss a certain generation gap and you're a bit more advanced than maybe your peers or you guys your age who you grew up with, you're just a bit more focused on things. To get to the point that I am now, there's been many things in my life. If we was to sit here and talk about it, it could be all day. But I have been through different journeys in my life that have made me want to buck my ideas up. The main thing is probably my kids. Without a doubt, you know, once you do have kids or you have a kid, you have to put all the foolishness behind you and you have to grow up and you have to be responsible, because at the end of the day, you are now a figure that someone's going to mold himself off of. That's about it. Tell us 5 things that we don't know about you. I used to play semi-pro basketball and could have made it to the NBA, messed it up. I'm a great cook. What else? I don't know. I don't know. There's that. You know, I like working with disabled kids in the summer in my free time. I don't get paid for that. It's voluntary work. Before I took the route that I went, I used to work with young offenders in the biggest foyer in Europe, which was in East London. And well, I speak a few different languages. And that's that. Who inspires you? My mum. Outside the box of my mum, Malcolm X. Who else? My big brother, who's no longer here because he was more or less like my father figure, and kept me in check when I was going down some routes that probably he was the only person I listened to. And who else? My nan and my granddad. Other than that, that's it. Share your top woes. Simple one for all of you to remember: young, old, middle class. TIM. Time is money. Trust me, yeah? You might think you got youth on your side, but before you know it, it will catch up with you. Which tracks, songs, or musical compilations inspire you and why? Tupac and Biggie, without a doubt. I can relate to what both of them were going through, where they were coming from. Obviously, that's my era and generation. And just the knowledge that they were kicking, you know, and it was cool that you had two black rappers that actually were spitting lyrics and made you feel to be proud to be black. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is England. There weren't really too much of none of that going on over here. So, you know, those two, I could go on when it comes to music because I've grown up around music. So Aretha Franklin, jazz, there's a whole league, but probably those are the main 2. What is your best wow from a track? That's a hard one. There's a lot of tracks. That's a hard one. There's a few. I think it'd have to be something like, I don't know, Prince and Purple Rain. I mean, that track that seems to, that's my morning track, that's how I start my day. So that's probably my wild track. Everything from Prince is probably my wild track. Purple Rain seems to be my wild track, so. What book would you recommend others to read and why? For 48 powers of law, without a doubt. Open your mind, wake you up, make you see outside your comfort zone, outside your box. What else would we do? We need to Black history all day, every day, because a lot of you youngsters ain't really educated. A lot of my age group ain't really educated on this Black history stuff neither, and only now are learning. And when conversations are going down, you can only interact for maybe 5 to 10 minutes and then you're lost. What else is there? There's a few books. There's a few, but I'm not going to name these other books. All I will tell you guys, whatever book it is, make sure you pick up a book and you read, because you'll be surprised what a book can actually do for you. In other words, in other terms, of just opening your brain up, learning new words, and just seeing things on a whole different, different perspective of things. Like there's nothing not cool about reading a book. What is the craziest thing you have done to pursue your dreams? Wow. I used to arm rob, and I used to do other bad things as well. So I used to be on the road. A lot of the youngsters can relate to that. I used to be on the road, and I used to be on the road to the point that the road was my life. And when I mean it was my life, that's all I knew. I didn't know or really entertain anything else. I wake up, I do what I need to do, I hit the road, I make my money, and that's what I used to do. I used to live this life. And when I mean I lived it. I lived, eat, whatever. I can't say this life. Did it help me pursue my dreams? No. Gave me the finer things in life. Also caused a lot of headache and trouble. And ended up in places where you really shouldn't be going. What are your top 5 tips for getting on top and staying on top? Hard work. Homework. And when I mean by homework, I mean before you rush into anything you're doing, go and study. Yeah, go and study the foundation work. And the foundation work is basically all the little things that you probably think are not important, but it's those little things in any business that keep your structure tight. A lot of people, they have money, but they don't really have the business savvy or sense to do what they need to do. So they jump into it and they have no idea. Yes, you can have money, but at the end of the day, you can have money and you're burning up a lot of money that you don't need to burn up if you do the homework. Also, in business, never mix friends, family and all that together, because it never works. Real talk. Never works. Doesn't matter if you and your friends growing up from you as teens. I'm in my late 30s. Same people I grew up with, I'm still with. I've got my businesses. I don't incorporate them in my businesses. They don't incorporate me in theirs. And it's a good thing. What else when it comes to business? Think outside the box, people. And I'll tell you what I mean by think outside the box. And this kind of upsets me. Black people especially. Make money, you do your thing, yeah, and you just stick to the same jargon that we're known for doing. Food shops, all that malarkey. Think outside the box. Start moving like how the whites move, the Chinese move, do you know what I mean? All these other nationalities move. It's better growth. I'm gonna tell you now, I've done all that, it didn't really work out for me. I went outside the box. My business partner's a white man. It helps me succeed into angles, and it helps me succeed into places that I couldn't get into on my own, just off the thing of my ink, my size, my skin color, little things like that. You'll be surprised what happens when you start looking outside the box. You come out of your comfort zone and you start to take a risk. What are your coping strategies, and when things are not going quite so well, and you do have any relaxation technique, any relaxation techniques that help you to find balance? I don't know, in my job, it's quite hectic. Relaxation for me, a bath. A bath, when I've got the opportunity, a nice soak in the bath, massage, and food. Those are my 3 comforts. As long as I can get those in somewhere along the line, and I'm like that, I'm I'm a happy chappy. I'm back to normal. I don't really let things get to me too much. It's not good. So especially in my job, what I do, you gotta be on point. So it's just little things that make me feel back on point, back in control, more relaxed. Little things. What is my opinion on postcode wars? Jolting. I understand what it's all about because I used to be in that life, but it's a jolting. And the thing at the end of the day we have to remember is men are out here, we're banging on each other, running up on each other, causing all this headache and harm to one another. We don't own the ends, we don't own the streets. Just as quick as you come off the streets, there's someone there to replace you. This is what you have to remember. You know, like, this subject is it's a sensitive subject. Because I've done my fair share of this behaviour out here. I know what this postcode beef is all about. You know, but we didn't have postcode beef back in my days. We just had ends, north, south, east, west. It was as simple as that. But I don't condone it, and I don't respect it. And at the end of the day, I think it's a load of foolishness. And I'll say this to the elders that are pushing the boat on this: you need to stop it, because you don't have the control. And I know what I'm talking about, and for any elder that sees this, you know what I'm talking about. That's the bottom line, innit? Like, too much young youth out here dying over foolishness, nothing. Yeah, they're losing their life over nothing. You know what I mean? 16, 17, 15, losing their lives. They ain't even living, you know. On this subject, I can go deep. I mean, I've got a little brother that's in jail over this postcode war. He's doing an L play. For those who don't know what L play is, life. You know what I'm saying? He's only 17. Didn't want to listen, went on a hype thing. Same man and that, you know, are supposed to be low, saying about this thing. Stood up in court and started G'ing up one another. Like, they're all doing life sentences. I go and see a regular. He's not the man that he is. I'm sitting in there, took it for a joke. It's not a joke. You got to think of the damage that's occurring as well. You know, you're out there, you're killing one another. The pain you're putting parents through. All I'm going to just say on this, because we could go on for hours, it's a joke thing. It's not necessary at the end of the day. Instead of postcode beef, go and put that energy into something else constructive. Real talk. Maybe put that energy into helping someone else. Put it into business, I don't know. But the whole postcode thing, joke thing, ain't nobody got time for that. What's going on with you at the moment and what's in the pipeline? Well, at the moment, I'm building my brand and my company, which is a bodyguarding company. I just want to say a few things about this, about my company, yeah? For all of you people, especially for those who have criminal records, who feel like they can't do nothing, when you look at this, look at me. My criminal record is not a joke thing. I'm not going to get into it, but it's not a joke thing. Yeah, I have a big dossier, a big file on me. Yeah, and for over more than half of my life, people have told me that I ain't going to be SHIT. Yeah, I've done a 360 and I've proved a lot of people wrong. Even when I started my company, a lot of people didn't believe it was going to go anywhere. I now have a security company that is so known, not just here internationally, that it's unbelievable. Even I'm blown away at sometimes. I'm in competition with probably one of the big, not even probably, I'm in competition and respected and known by the biggest company in my sector. When they see us, they respect us, they know us, they can't believe what we do. So please just remember something. It doesn't matter what you've done in your past, because your past is your past. That's what you're going to be doing now. As for what I've got in the pipeline, I've got a few more little business ventures. I own a tattoo shop. I have a website designing company. And I'm just about to start going into construction and an estate agent. So, the world is your oyster, people. Real talk. Like, don't let nobody tell you can't be nothing more than what they expect you to be. You know, just have a plan. That's the bottom line. And the thing with this is, you know, you might see this and you be like, oh, well, you know, like, you was on the road, you made money, you turned your road money into something else. You don't have to be on the road to make money. You can go and get a 9 to 5. You just got to be smart with your money when you're making your money. So if you're going to work in Sainsbury's, you have a plan. Don't be like others. Don't follow others. Yeah. Sometimes you know you got to live underneath your means in order to get to your goals, which are the long-term objectives. So if I can, anyone can. Real talk. Any final advice, other tips, comments, or suggestions to young people trying to make it? Yeah, daredevil. Real talk. When I mean be a daredevil, just go for it. Just go for it. And make sure you just cover all aspects, all sections, everything. When I mean that, yo, go and do a business, whatever it is. You know, like you can go to college, you can do a business course. Just get your fingers dirty. When I mean dirty, get to know what you're throwing yourself into. Because if you don't, these are the little things that I was talking about earlier on that mess you up. You know, like that's the bottom line. Make sure you know whatever you're doing, you know what you're doing. So when you sit down and you have your meetings or you have conversations with people that might want to jump on board or they might want to slice of the pie, you know what you're talking about. You know? I'd also say, at the end of the day, like, be creative with what you're doing as well. Why not? Be creative. Like, we live in an era now where, you know, like, everything and anything is acceptable. And this is something that I think is good as well. When you do have ideas, and they might be the most outlandish ideas that pop into your head, don't dismiss them. Don't dismiss them. Write them down. Put them to the side. You never know. If it doesn't work then, it might work later on. If it doesn't work later on, it could be something that you can incorporate into what you eventually do to make your business stand out and have a niche where other people now you're top of your game because your company has a niche and it isn't like all the other companies out there. You know, like, never, just don't be scared. Anything and everything is possible. Attempt, try. Failure is nothing. It's better to fail than never to try. And that's real talk. People, please believe in me. Yeah? Shout out to Ediction, yeah? They're keeping it real. Yeah, we're working with this movement. Big things are coming out of this camp. Stay focused, stay tuned. We're feeding them. Support the movement, real talk, yeah? I'm supporting it.